こんばんは。それでは新しい事件を始めていきます。
よし久しぶりにやりましょう。
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain.
なんだろう、話は何？Qと植物園の最後の展示会から盗まれた植物を見つけ出す。 Q っていう植物園、まだ何も話始まってないからな。勇気を与えてるのか。しかし同時に私が言ってる。事件解決した後のな、お礼の手紙だな。
This is where I keep my post.
よし、植物園ということで。何が盗まれたのかまだ分かりません。あ、そうだ、ちょっと待って、ツイートしとこう。一応あら、なんか大変になっちゃったよ。よし、始まりました。
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is
文字は
beautiful.
見えるよな。
But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
結構文字でかめにしてると思う。一応してたと思うけど、システム。
What are we doing, Holmes?
文字の大きさ変えるのないわ。
Let us find someone who could help us.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No. But I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
容疑者かもしれんな。
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The 2 of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
おや、
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand. The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
ここに来らず持ってく。
Do not touch.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
まあ、分かる人いるのかな。
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
何かがあるかもしれん。あった。何かがある。
The traces are thinner in some places.
黒く細い何かなと。
These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
ほう。花瓶。
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Fragments. These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
海水。
The door was smashed at shoulder height.
肩の高さあたり。
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconsson was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the colonial collection room.
ちょっと待って、こっちにもね、まだ後がある。白い字はね、調べ終わってないやつ。
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
あれだ、8あった。あ、これ。
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent.
ほう。なんだこれ。洗剤。
The smell is strong. It is
強いだ、これは
a
洗剤だ。
detergent.
何これ。
These windows were perfectly cleaned.
この区画だけ、あ、なんか落ちてる。
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
つまりそろそろ推理できそうだぞ。洗剤でここだけ掃除したってことか。血の跡とかなんだろうな。ガラスも汚れたってことか。
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
ちょっと待って、この中人は通れないけどな。閉めるが白い字のなってるのが気になるな。よし、じゃあ行くか。ちょっとここなんもないね。ここは象だ。行こうか。どこから。あ、なんかある。
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it.
血。
Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious.
あれ
I need my imagination to make
心臓
sense of
発
it all.
作ったけどな。血があるんだか。うん。
No, it wasn't like that.
いや、そうじゃなかった。もう一度もう一度。扉を壊す。鉢をひっくり返す。塀の上に倒れる。まだ他にある。側に何かあるのか。集めた情報をもとにまず扉を壊す。 して8をひっくり返す。いや、まだ他の選択肢があるはず。3。
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
なぜ館
He
長
was in a
が
panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
閉じ込められた。はあ、確かに。あ、うわ、そっか。なんか洗剤の匂いとかで息苦しくなったのかな。それで逃げようとして扉ぶち破ったとか。確かに検視を行う。スコットランドヤードに行くな。その前に何だろうね。そこで検索する。
According to this,
Let's go to...
行くけども
water lily.
水蓮
According to
一緒だ。引っかかった。検視する前にちょっとここで調べられるやつ全部調べる。ここは事件とは関係ないのかな。
Can I help you, gentlemen?
話さない。まだ話さない。大理石な。ちょっと話してみるか。なんだろう。
a task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools. Palm house.
ちょっと観察するべ。赤い目、最近泣いている。深い悲しみに暮れている。ひげの傷。綺麗な手。
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
なるほど。 し、じゃあ行くか。
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy.
心臓発作だと。
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. No redness, stings, or bruises.
あ、何も壊れてない。傷がないってこと。
Nothing suspicious here. Now,
無理やりこじ
let
開
us
けた
examine
から
the internal organs.
怪我とかなかったってことか。心臓。
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart's blood vessels.
心臓発作って言ってたんだけど。
The heart tissue shows no visible path.
ないか。肺はありそう。毒ガス
The
吸ったらあり
lungs
そう
are。congested and edematous.
ほら。
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible. The stomach tissues show. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly. Only
肺だよ。毒植物
his
の毒。
suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
息子が怪しい。
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs.
ある程
Yes,
度
Watson.
な
It is time now
知
to
識が
open
な
the
いと
doors.
Even those in the
植
staff
物
building?
の毒がわ
I
かんない
suppose
んだ
that
な。
is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
.待ってよ、ちょっと。所持品一応あると思うんだよな。あったあった。
A beautiful feather pen of a good...
友よ、旧植物園の大展示会の張り紙は素晴らしい出来だ。だが全職員の名前を挙げる必要はないはずだ。クラブ会員証。
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
クレストってなんだろう。彫刻クレストってなんだろう。クレストクラブ、わかんねえな。
This watch is of great value.
よし。安価なメガネ。めっちゃ汚れてんな。働き者か。ボタンないよここ。ボロボロの服だな。あ、作業着かこれ。1個も。庭師の手。
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
心臓発作っぽく見える毒物ってことか。
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
なんか隠してるな。
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
what is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
Useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
お、これはダンが怪しいぞ。これ。
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
あれ、あなたじゃないの片付けたの。
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
なんかおどおどしてんだ。
Who is Miss Margaret White?
これ引っ掛けかも
She
し
is
れ
the
んから
young
な。
lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Hamish.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed. That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
こんなとこで働きたくねえわな。ホワイト。ここかな？
Locked.
ここじゃない。種園だって。
Nursery.
ここじゃない。
Locked.
ここも違うか。あ、これはあの向かいのとこだな。あ、ちっちゃな苗があるか。ここには何もない。
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
まあ待て。
Colonial collection. Dry tropics. Water lily greenhouse. Farmhouse. Director's office. Nursery.
英単語の勉強になるんじゃない？
Seed house.
ナーセリー。
Nursery.
コロニアルコレクション。
Water lily.
ああ。プラムハウス。ドライ。熱帯乾燥。ベンティレーションシステム。
Ventilation system.
あとはないな。一応。
There is a smell of burning.
あ、燃やしてる。証拠を燃やしているのだ。防毒マスク。
A protective mask.
おっとおっとこれはお、証拠隠滅
A
してるんじゃ
broom
ないか。
handle was half burned.
堂々と燃やしてる。火が弱いわ。
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The remains of a picture frame.
額縁。額縁。額縁を燃やす。
A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
あ、ああ、これ違うか。なんだこれ。割れた鉢。なんか見えた。
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
パクって。
The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
まあ。思いつきる前に見つけれてよかったな。
Colonial.
これは見た。これが換気システム。
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. A ventilation. A ventilation system.
興味ある対象。
A ventilation.
お、これ何？お、水。
A ventilation system.
この浮き彫りは神聖なるという意味だ。
Seed house. Open.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
やったのかな。高価な香水。何これ。貧しい家なの。ピンク色のシミ。ピンク色のシミって栄養失調のあれなの？顔だよな、多分。顔面になんかヒントがある。服、綺麗な服。庭師の手って出ない。ボタン。顔面だよな、多分。顔ない今回。ポケット。クリックしてない場所あるか。クリックしてない場所ある？全部クリックしたと思う。失礼しました。
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
誰だよ、じゃあ。3人のうち誰かが嘘ついてるさ。この女の人めっちゃ怪しいな。
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me, although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
もっと情報が。これを書庫で調べるか。何をやってんだろうこの人。
Nursery.
ここも閉まってるよな、こっち側も多分。
Locked.
調べよう。植物。
That is not. That is not. That is not. That is. That is.
あった。
That is not. That is not the one. That is not the one I need.
来た。ティオネア。これ。ちょっと全部じゃねえか。ありと。ドクナールもめっちゃ揃えたな。こんだけ大量に仕入れたん。フローレムダイアボレカ。フローレムダイアボレカ。これ何らかの攻撃に植物が反応する場合、有毒胞子をまき散らす。うわ、危な。
Here it is.
なんだろうこれ。中国系だよな、多分。違うな。新聞じゃないな。価格。
That is. That is. That is. That is not. That is. That is. That is. That is. That is not the one I.
ついでにこれは。
That is not the one.
植物崇拝者のための神聖なる組合。レッドトレワン。神王を崇拝している。信仰者は内なる平和、そして物質社会から解放された生活を追求している。寛大な寄付を歓迎している。
Here it is.
まだ
The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
おう。
My archive. I can all.
つまり すんだろこれ
A
から。
map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful. My archive. I can always consult with it. My archive.
マーク手が植物になってる。はあ。こんななんか気持ち悪い組織が犯罪し関わった。殺人者は旧植物園の最後の展示から全ての外来植物。ガスマスクでつけてってこと？誰だよゴミ出したやつ。まあ行ってみるか。変な組織が出てきたぞ。わかんなくなってきた。あれは全然関係ないのかな。ただのゴミかな。
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this...
他の部屋行けるようになった。なえどこ
Locked.
あ、いた。ここら辺に隠した植物。ちょっとでも触っただけで胞子放つようなやつでしょう。植物でしょう。
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. We can see the interior. This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish would... This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
Hamish はプロフェッショナルだったんだな、これ。植物のね。これしかも同じ場所。
I am curious if the marble that we found will... Here it is.
おいおい。
The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in
殺された
common.
じじい自分の闘争を作ってるわ。
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
殺されたな。この辺にポーイってされたゴミ捨て場に嫌われ
The
てたってこ
seeds
と
of
だな。
plant species are stored here.
恨みによる犯行ってことだよ。これなんだろう。まあホワイトに話聞くぜ。
See,
マーガレット。
the Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Thank you, miss.
みんな嘘ついてんじゃねえの。3人で共謀して殺したとかいうパターンあるかな。
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
ほうほう。2人で使ってんだ。
A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
本当だ。どうして？
Kew Gardens is such an exciting place. Wouldn't...
行ってないとこあっかなと。行ったよな。これあれ気になったのがさ、これここ興味のある対象
A
物って
ventilation system.
これが選択できないんだよな。そのうちできるかな。
a water tank. A ventilator.
まだできないか。ここは何の部屋だ。
What should we do?
倉庫か。
Dry.
サボテン。
These flower pots are beautiful. They are in.
急に音楽だったぞ。なんだ。あ、
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
どういうこと。なぜ。
Dry tropics. Water. These trees with.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
そこで検索する。ああ、ここにもあったんか。あそこ、ここにもある。ありそう。植木鉢を探せ。
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
またじいちゃんか。
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
あんたか
A
な。
bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know, but it has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a
Oh,
fragment
wait
of the
a minute.
bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
まあ明らかに嘘ついたよな。まだ出てないか。
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I...
これか。シーモアの庭、園芸道具と用品。これがいつも仕入れてるとこだな。
Here it is.
まだじゃあ行ってないとこがあるってことか。今のところ誰が犯人かさっぱり分かってない。
Colonial harm. Water. Dry. Director's office. Nurse. Sea. Ventilation. Locked.
あ、ここ入ってなかったな。
French wine. A remarkable vintage. Champagne. Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
旧植物園の研究チームが新種の大麦作成に成功したことを倉敷に発表した。耐寒性に非常に強い植物だ。彼らはこの新種をシベリア大麦と名付けることにした。この新種の次法の陽性者であるマーティン・ヘイミッシュ氏は次の月曜日の朝に記者会見を開く予定でいる。ヘイミッシュはプロだよね。我々の最後の会話の後で君はここ旧植物園を去った方がいいと思った。これどういう話？ほう、縁切りってこと。ああ、おっと、あれこれじゃない。なぜ解雇したかったんだろう。イチャイチャしてたはずだが。
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
来た来た、開けるぜ。全然わかんない。 ちょっと待って。あれ開けられるんだよな。ホームズだもんな。開けろよな。手がかりはないか。手がかりなし。これ全部覚えんの？もういけなそうだな。おおおおおお、もういけなそうだな。ああ、いけたんか。おお。あれどうだったっけ？いけいけ。おお、いった。ああ、でももう無理そうだな。おお、いけた。親愛なる友へ、あなたから受け取った最後の手紙を読み、非常に失望したと言わせてほしい。私を弁護してもらうために金を支払っているのであって、告訴されるためではないのだ。英国法律科学研究所だ。非常に面白い。我々の気分はそのような品種を疑わしい目的に利用とするものから守ることにある。あなたの言う神聖なる組合にはそのような貴重な植物を保持する権利はない。1889年6月14日の一件を覚えているだろう。そこで旧植物園を代表して再度例の植物の我々の所有権の交渉を行うよう謹んでお願い申し上げた。お、ここで出てきたぞ。苦情の手紙。ああ、ここから仮パクしてんのこれ、ダンって。出てきた。
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
What should we do?
あ、全部出た。ほうほう。さあ、出揃ったぞ。推理しましょう。ホワイト城と男子は最近口論をしている。うん。 繋がんねえな。あれ1個これが出てきた。こんだけか。
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
Poor Mr. Montague.
あれ
Kew Gardens is such an... Kew Gardens... Kew...
じゃあ息子。
Excuse me, but
おや。あ、これか。何が起こった？ 1889年6月14日。
That is not the one I need.
ほ、神聖なる組合。トレバンを支持するカールトン街道グローブナ通り48番に位置する。植物、そして特に木々の保護に力を入れているこの団体は現時点当局調査を受けている。組織の幹部らには不正取引の疑惑があり、調査は起訴され裁判にかけられる可能性がある。一方で調査に対する多数の反対意見も上がっており、受けた非難を告発を非難している。事実、この民間団体は自然保護を目的としており、また野党の政治代表者などの有力者が多く加入して。
Here it is.
行ってみようか。
And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
ちょっとずつ分かってきたぞ。なんかあの3人だけの話じゃなかったな。
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help
めち
us.
ゃくちゃ怪しいなこれ。中国人の票が欲しいんだろう多分。
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sun. A while
地域の活力を高めてい
from
る。
the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
どこ入った？
Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself, I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
入れ墨。指のタコ。指輪や。今回指輪ないか。なんだこれ。科学の実務。
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower pots.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation. We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate. Glory to the
神格生物万歳。
Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
準備ができた。
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
これは
Our God King's name is Trewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
多分なんだ鍵。見つけたそう。何この木、すごいよこれ。根っこが。なんかある。なんだ。
A fragment of a flower pot. A fragment of a... Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
あれ。入り口付近にある。
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
源。なんだろうこれ。
It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Osmosis
達人。
and photosynthesis.
こういう宗教を作ってみようかな。
The list of plant friends and benefactors Lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders. This door is locked.
お、来た来た。どうやってやるんだったっけ。全体回っちゃってる。これ全体回っちゃってる。これ全体回っちゃってるよ。あ、すべてを回転する。これだけか。ああ、こっちか。これじゃない。これ1個しかないな。これがこれ。これは合ってる。これが合ってる。外側黄色が合ってない。これが合ってない。あったあった。
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
へえ。歴史でしか知らんよな。
A vast amount of opium.
あら。イギリスが中国に売りまくったやつか。最悪だよな、あれは。ひどいわ。
Chemicals, a sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
うん、こんだけか。でもまだ白いのが残ってるよな。興味ある対象物。
That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
F じゃない。T はどこ？ T。この興味ある対象物がわかんないよ。
This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens.
え、同じ薬品？他でもないよな。選べるとこないな。どういうこと？同じ薬品がある。
Praise the grand tree, praise it! Osmos.
This must... caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
へえ。あ、これやばいんじゃない？
A tropical plant. A tropical plant.
まさかここにはないよ。あったら死んじゃうぞ。
A tropical plant. A tropical. A tropical plant. A tropical plant. These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I
持
shall
って
take
帰
them.
ろうだって。なんともまあ。
Praise.
聞いてみるかな。
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search. Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
ただ触ったら毒の胞子出す植物な、持って帰ったら死んじゃうよ。一回毒出しちゃったら、まあすぐに出せないか、毒は。致命的な有害植物を含んで全ての不完全なセット。こっちだと思うな。死んでないもんな。どっかにあるんじゃないか。どこにあるんだろう。こっちだったらもう結論に行っちゃうんだ。不 完全だったって言ってたよな。とりあえず3つだけ取れたよな。123個で、カニ稲ダイヤ、カニ稲ダイヤ、これか。待って、他の植物は7個くらいあったよな。どれだったっけ。カニ、これ1でしょ。カニ稲ダイヤ、これ3つ。アメリカ桜、ひまわり、1、2、3、4、5、6個。6個見つかってない。6個見つかってねえんだけど。完了しちゃったよな。ここで得られるものはない。もうまさかここです結論。またわかんねえな、カニが。あの同士がやったのはちょっと証拠がないよ。なんもない。盗んだっちゅうか取り返したことしか分かってねえな。ここがまあ全然繋がってないもんな。まだあるんよ。あれもう神聖なる組合でやれることはもう終わってるかな。見つけ出す。この中にある？もしかしてこれ全部探すってこと？まあでもカーソルが出るからわかるか。
Excuse me, but I have to tie.
捨ててない？もしかして証拠っていうか、毒ガスのマスクがここにあったってことは、やっぱこの中の誰かが怪しいと思うよな。いや全然分かってないな今回は。頭打ってたし、でも直接の死因は毒ガス。5日前でしょ亡くなったの。ここにはないよな。ここで割れてたのもどういう関係があったんだろう。こっち行ってみよ
う。According to According to this, they have light,
動させるためにガスマスクつけたんかな。ああ、展示のために運ぶときにガスマスクというか、そんな植物を展示すんだよな。客が死ぬよ。繋がんないな。どういうことだろう。
The plants were...
ほうき。
Ventilation. Seed. Net. Director. Dry. Water. Hot.
きれいな質。職員室だな。あ、これまだ終わってない。それぞれのまた部屋まだ探しきってないんだな。
From here, we are unable to...
もう終わってるな。緑のマークついてるし。この辺の机かな。ここ。
Kew Gardens is so...
この部屋ではない。
Net. We can see the...
ここも調べた。
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
ほうほう。なるほどな。あ、ここ来てなかった。
This is a table for experiments.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
お、闇か。
A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory. I don't hear anything.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants to respond to their environment and have formed consciousness.
study report.
文字に書けばよくない？面白い。これカセットみたいな感じだよ。カセットテープ。アナログのレコードとあれか一緒か。多分音出した時にの振動がこの筒の表面をギザギザするんだ多分。でここギザギザなぞって音出すんだわ。
A study report by Martin Hamish.
あ、ヘイミッシュ知ってた。もう一回。
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
あら、出てきてないわ。あら、知ってたね。ヘイミッシュ。
Chemicals. A botany book. A botany. This student's book belongs to Albert.
そこら中に教科書置いてるね。おやおやおや。
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Oh.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect. Come on, Toby. Let us go to Kew Gardens. Let us take Toby to the laboratory. Search, Toby. Search.
え、
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
分析を行う。何の毒だ？毒じゃないかもな。化学反応をなんか起こして植物に胞子出させたってこと？
Let us determine, let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis.
瓶ってどれ？
This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette. A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So, what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
信じられんだ。
Let us determine just what we have found here. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pip. Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory. According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and food. According to the deadly plants...
あるものが必要。アルカロイドと。
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer.
アルカロイド化学実験室から。もうだいぶ確信に近づいてきたと思うんだけどな。
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
There is no fertilizer with alkaloid here. We need to...
ここにない。
Nursery.
ってことはこのマーガレットのいるとこないな。
Seed. From here.
薬品なんかあったっけな。ないよ。
Kew Garden.
ないよな。こっちはないな。確実な物証になるかな、これ。
Excuse me, but
ないわな。この部屋だったっぽい。どれ？
several...
どれや。こっちか。
This is a table for...
Only this one is kept...
This is a table for experiments.
Only this one...
ないよ。わかんねえな。あ、これ。違う、これ。この中にないって言われちゃったんだよな。
There is no fertilizer with alkaloid here. We need to search a different chemical cupboard.
肥料か。肥料か。この部屋からって書いてある。
This is a table for...
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
.ただの肥料でもいいんかな。肥料は一番最初この辺でなんか触ってなかった。これ肥料じゃない。
Just be careful.
Excuse me.
わかんない。ネットで調べる。 わかんねえな。攻略がないんだわ。ダメだ。ねえわ。これなんていう事件？9のなんたらってやつないかな。アルカロイドの溶液ってどこにあるんだろう。わかった。ここじゃねえ。こっちにあるっぽい。あれ全部触ったと思ったけどな。これでしょ。
This sub's perfect, Watson.
あ、こんだけ。やっと実験ができる。実験だけしたいよな。
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done.
ま
I
ず
shall
マスク
begin
したがいい。
now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. A prickly plant. A carnivorous plant.
これ胞子出しそうやな。
This is a strange and unusual plant.
うん、なんか袋みたいなのがついてる。おお、びっくりした。ちょっと。
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
あら、
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
これもう怪しいって言えば怪しいな。あ、とか刺すんじゃねえ。
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
おお、違う。このトゲで刺してここの中のなんか袋に傷つけて毒ガス出すんかと思ったらこっちが怪しいわ。あ、ちょっと待って。邪魔してくるから。これで不活性にして今のうち
This
に
plant becomes in.
復活しちゃって。ほら、分かっ
It
た。
closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of
また
gas.
しまった。溜まっ
I
たガス
wonder
の
what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we.
もう一回。
It appears to open. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
え、
This plant seems.
あ、おおお、あ、出た。
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary.
すげえ。
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
あの植物の並びじゃないとね。殺人起きねえわ。はあ、面白い。致命的植物の準備には複雑な工程を必要とした。正しく組み合わせた植物を血液の近くに設置して、 完璧なタイミングじゃないとダメ。ちょっとまだわかんねえけどな、俺の主観だとこっち繋がんねえな。まあ、行ってみよう。話聞けばわかるよ。
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Just be careful.
やべえ、よくわかんなかった。ちゃんと話聞かねえとやべえ。あんまり頭入ってこなかった今の話。
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that
ちゃんと
day?
聞こう。
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of
Tanende.
Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes, he came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
わかる？俺こういうの弱いんだよな。ちょっと何がよく分かってねえな。ヘイミッシュとこの女が会ってたの？
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Nursery.
これはもう俺の直感に頼るしかねえな。わかんねえ。この像が壊れてたのもね、ほんとわかんない。あん時に使われたってことなんじゃないかな。バッチのタイミングで虫落とすのに使う。あ、違う。ダンが壊したんだわ、あれ多分。扉ぶっ壊すために。ある320番。
Here it is.
あった。あれ、まだなんかあるよ。
Cylinder wrap.
聞いてみよう。
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
研究室からは見えないな。ってことは2人か。容疑者は2人だわ。つながった。アルバートは専門的知識に欠けている。うん。あ。これは犯人はあの人なんだっては。あと一人全ての容疑者からって、もしかしてこいつも。まあ動詞は違うと思うけどね。殺さなくてもね。取り返せたと思う。
Follow my
ちょっと。
Bridge.
全ての容疑者ってまだ聞いてないことあるのかな。まだ聞いてないことある。
Just be careful.
Excuse me, but
全員話聞いたぞ。
Locked.
Holmes,
It does not.
あ、この部屋開けてなかった。
Open. Miss White's locker. These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
めちゃくちゃ持ってんぞ。
A vanity purse.
あなたからの手紙を受け取って驚いています。あなたが家を出てもう何年にもなります。私たちへの懸念の言葉もありません。どうしてお金を貸してくれと言えるのですか。ほう、家族となんかうまくいってなかったっぽい。うわぁ、貢いでるわ。ひどい。
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
お、調べ終わった。
Martin Hamish's locker.
さあ、容疑者の
Father and I, Kew Gardens. A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several.
草書キットの
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
これはもう怪しすぎるわ。もう
Albert's
ヘイミッシュでい
locker.
いと思うなこれは。あ、やっぱ船が好きなんだよ。
Specialist articles on shipyard. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
船乗りたかったんだな。
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
仲がいいっちゅうか貢がされてたんだろうな。めっちゃ悪い人に思えてくるけどな。でも実際やったのは動機はまあでも殺すまでしないかな。
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
うわ どこだ、どこに出た、これか。ダンに大内心された。これつながったよ。もうこれで全部出揃ったか。じゃあ実験するべ。実験。邪魔なんだよ。ここにもう植物がいっぱいあったのか。
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
These... The smell... Dry... According to... Before starting the engine, the power is on. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Oh.
Perfect. Now I just need...
どうなった?
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
いいかな、ちょっと戻ってみるか。もう全部出揃
Let's
ってる
go
な。
to Scotland.
ほう。多分これでいいよな。これでいいと思う。
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you. Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
お、自殺しちゃった。
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
「左足の靴のすり減った厚めのかかとから」また出てきたよ。あら。
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
9時30分頃、マーティン・ヘイミッシュと申す。モンタギュー・ダモン。ヘイミッシュとモンタキュー・ダンが裏庭に出たのは10時20分前だった。そういうこと。種にいるアルバート。 その10分後、ダンは点検を再開するため乾燥園に入る。ここ。ヘイミッシュは種に戻った。マーティン・ヘイミッシュは10時にホワイトさんと会話をした。ホワイトさんは10時40分まで研究室にいた。10時半くらい。10時半くらい。アルバートはホワイトさんをここで見たんか。ちょっと見てみるか、W。うわ、すげえ。
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
もう一度あれ見直すって、見直す。換気扇はここの部屋とここの部屋にあったよ。
Let us summarize. Albert or Miss White. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
これでいいかな。どうしようかな。ほらこっちだよな。まず息子から金取ってってもうやべえよこれ。見つかしてたもんな。どうだ。
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining, the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
まさかそんなやってくんの。
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
あ、反応が遅れてしまった。
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not.
OK。ぼーっと見てた。よし、やろう。W な。 ぐに来るもんな。
But Holmes, how can you...
It
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss.
Well,
Not for... So please tell me, as it is...
you were...
It was Martin... You think that...
You don't care what I think.
It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
今度マウス今度マウスの顔されてやがっ
This
た
is
ぜ。
tragic, Holmes.
次ラストにしよう。
But...
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
マウスマウスいくぞ。
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
ああ、一緒やな。ホワイト城は成功な殺人を容易に実行できるような危険な女性。もはやダンから金銭的利益を得ることができないと分かり、アルバートに接近した。ヘイミッシュが芋虫を離した後に植民地展示室の鍵をかけたのは彼女だった。その後、自分を守るためにマーティン・ヘイミッシュを自殺へとやった。これはまあほぼほぼこれでしょう。多分同じだと思うな。
Where are you going, Holmes?
Oh.
Have you been invited somewhere?
終わったわ。
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the
That's
Baker
it,
Street
これから行きますから
Irregulars'
ね。
annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat-head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
ちょっと待てよ。さっきのここ数値が出ねえな。わかんねえわ。よし、じゃあまあここで終わろうと思います。一気にクリアしたな。ではご視聴ありがとうございました。